Good morning, my friends. It is the very first morning in 12 weeks that I'm alone in the house, all by myself. Both of my kids are back in their institutions, and my husband is at work. And I wanted to use this time to catch up and say thank you. So many of my friends and family and yoga, I don't like to call them students, but fellow students who are in the same boat, um, have been very supportive in the past weeks, and I'm really grateful for that. And so I want to give back and share with you a morning flow. So the last 3 nights, I've been up very late to catch up on politics. And a long time ago, I made a decision to not read the news too much because I really wanted to dive into yoga, and I realized how much of a feeling of overwhelm I get if I read the news too much, and I just can't do anything about it. But I want to catch up on that later. Before we start, I want to read you a quote from Mark Nepo. So you can listen to the quote, and I encourage you to sit somewhere in a relaxed pose and just really take it in. The ultimate value of staying open is that we're scoured clean of all that might burden us. Memories, wounds, assumptions, conclusions, even the debris of unworkable dreams. And more important than what we reach for or aspire to is a cleansing release of all that takes up residence in the reservoir of our perception and feeling. For unprocessed feelings and unlived dreams that clog our arteries of being, it can be life-threatening. So, like it or not, we're asked to let everything in and through, trusting that it's the passage of life through us that is renewing, not what we accumulate or accomplish along the way. As blood must pass through organs, as rivers must empty into the sea, thoughts and feelings must pass through our being if we are to stay fresh and changeable. After all these years, I've come to see that the aim is not to stay full or empty, but an open channel for everything that life has to offer. And so, as I took those night times to catch up on what has happened in the US and to understand really what it is about, I took a long time to really see the videos and read the news, and I noticed how much I'm taken as German, someone of my generation in Germany. We are exposed to we're exposed to the history of Second World War, Nazi Germany quite a lot. All of us, and it's part of the curriculum. We're taken to the concentration camps. We walk around there. I remembered immediately all of the education we got around the subject, and I remember also very clearly having fellow students in my class who were very much on the far right side of the political spectrum. And inside, I guess I always wanted to believe, because I am a very positive and optimistic person, I wanted to believe that we as a society are far more ahead towards the goal of peace and harmony and co-creation, like really, intermingling with each other on a very peaceful level. But those nights were a wake-up call. They were such a big wake-up call that I was thrown back into the overwhelm, and I took the decision to not hide behind all of the, yes, important responsibilities and tasks that I have as a mom for my children, but to bring it up and talk about it and talk to my friends and show up and talk to my children and talk to my family and seek out all of those uncomfortable conversations around all of the subjects that are cooking up in a pressure pan at the moment, at the backdrop of COVID-19 and all of us having to stay at home. So I want to invite you to practice with me this morning and to move together and see if we can move things through a little bit together. So you might want to make some space for a yoga mat. You saw me pushing the table to the side, and I made some space, and I'm going to push you away a little bit so you can see me. And I hope you follow me to the mat. And really the practice is about, and this is the interesting split, I guess, that we have to make, is to let everything in and through, and at the same time find our center and groundedness and strength to step forward and show up. And if I remember the quote correctly from Martin Luther King, is that really the deep pain is not the threat of our enemies, but it is our friends staying silent. So I hope to create a space and a practice in which you can allow things to move in and through you, and a practice to step forward, to speak up and show up for your friends and for yourself in a grounded and peaceful way. Okay, so here we are, sitting in cross-legged position. This can be anything really. You could sit on a chair, you could sit on your knees, and I want to introduce a mudra. And the mudra is that you're interlacing, you're interlocking your fingers. And I'd like to invite you to really see the symbolism in it, that we're interlocking within ourselves, but also interlacing with everything that is, as the separation is a veil of illusion. And if we have the courage to open the heart and let everything in and through and really let it touch us and really feel, we notice, we really notice. So the mudra of unshakable trust, and I've been thinking about it a lot this morning. Do I really want to teach this mudra? Because my trust is so shaken. And I was like, no, this is the mudra. It is, I want to come back to the unshakable trust that we as a society, we are capable and able to connect back to our hearts, listen to and feel the uncomfortable emotion of we're all so unsure, and most of us are, we are either trying to protect what we already have, or somehow trying to, gosh, reach for whatever is getting us through this time. So let's come back to the mudra of unshakable trust. And let's, within this mudra, breathe 4 times inhale, 4 times exhale. Inhaling on the count of 4. Exhaling on the count of 4. Do one more inhale on the count of 4. Exhale on the count of 4. Continue this count as I invite you to allow the elbows to come in, and as you have your fingers interlocked, you pull. So, but the knuckles, they lock you into the connection. And so this really is a symbolism of belief systems, news, different opinions of friends and family might, pull you away of your knowledge, your innate knowledge that we're connected, but your knuckles, your anatomy, your bodily experience with every breath shows you that we're interconnected. And so your knuckles keep you locked in there. And we'll do a couple of more rounds of the square breath as we inhale on the count of 4. Hold on the count of 4. Exhale on the count of 4. Hold on the count of 4. Inhale on the count of 4. Hold in the fullness of breath. Exhale on the count of 4. Hold in the emptiness of your breath. Inhale on the count of 4. Hold on the count of 4. Exhale on the count of 4. Hold on the count of 4. Last round. Inhale on the count of 4. Hold on the count of 4. Exhale on the count of 4. Hold on the count of 4. And then release your hands and allow them to drop and fall onto your body wherever it's comfortable. Allow your shoulders to drop away. And see if you can release the tension in the shoulders, allowing everything to flush and flow down. Extending your neck up towards the sky. And then see if you can soften the surface tension of your hands and fingers. And get an even deeper connection with your own body. With your hands on your knees, you start to roll and rotate and circle all through your body. And so Sufi circles really moving through your spine. And then see if you can deepen your breath and allow it to circulate within your body. Remember that the aim of openness is to let everything in and through. And so you're moving into all of the crooks and crannies of your body. And see if you can release everything that might take up reservoir in your feeling and perception. And then you change the direction. And how hard is it in this time to really let go of everything that takes up reservoir in our feelings and perception? We're so flooded by really scary news all the time. So can you use these Sufi circles to go with so much power that you might even lose orientation? And hopefully, and that's what the Sufis do, is that with losing the orientation in the outer world, we reconnect with the inner orientation. And so slowly you can come back to center. And as we reconnect with the inner orientation, it is our spine as our spinal column. In our heart center, we can place one hand over the other above your heart center. And remember to release the superficial tension of the surface of your hands to allow them to deepen into your sternum, into your heart space. You might feel your heartbeat and the rhythm that crosses through your veins, reminding you you're alive. What do you want to do with it? What do you want to do with this alignment? Release the hands, bring the hands back behind you. Fingers might point forward, outward, backward. And with the inhale, you're lifting up your hips. You might want to allow your head to drop back if your neck allows you, or you look forward. And so here's altar pose. What are you putting on your altar these days? Are you putting on your altar the news? Are you putting on your altar what you're seeing and hearing? Or can you reconnect back with a higher version, an aspiration to keep reaching for peace? And with the exhale, slowly sink your hips down. Cross your feet, bring the hands forward, and bring your hips back and just yield into a child's pose. Just for a moment, yielding into child's pose. You might want to have your arms forward and melt your heart down. You could even take your palms up, or you can bring your hands back. And as you are here in child's pose, I want to bring up a quote or a principle that we hear in philosophy always. And that we should not make an assumption of how things are supposed to be by the observation of what we're seeing. And it is said that just because flies fly around a pile of shit It doesn't mean that shit tastes well. So as you release whatever takes up residence within the reservoir of your feeling and perception, you need to make a distinct choice. What are you participating in? And so can you make this practice an activation of your peaceful showing up to the beauty and the love and the reaching out your hand and heart for help, to offer your voice and your action towards everything that brings warmth and peace and yielding and freedom to this world. Reaching out your hands to the front, shoulders over wrists. Bend your elbows, knees, chest, and chin, and glide through to cobra on your inhale. The exhale, push back to child's pose. And this simple flow, inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, bend your elbows. Inhale, glide through to cobra. Exhale to child's pose. Now make your breath longer. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, bending the elbows. Inhale, gliding through to cobra. Exhale to child's pose. One more. Make the breath longer, bigger. Shoulders over wrist. Knees, chest, chin. Glide through to cobra. Back to child's pose. Last one. Super long. Can your breath fuel your body to feel and flush and release everything that takes up residence in the reservoir of your feeling? Knees, chest, and chin, gliding through to cobra. So here we go. Tuck the toes under, push the hips up. And we meet in the downward facing dog. So you start to push and push into the floor to get the rebound, to rise up to this new version of yourself. Take a deep inhale and exhale through an open mouth. With the next inhale, take your right leg up to the sky, towards your nose, back up to the sky, and open up your right hip, looking under your right shoulder. Taking your right knee in between your hands into a very early pigeon. I know it's very early, but I want you to feel. And so a lot of what we're having and what we're experiencing right now is sitting in the discomfort. It seems like for 12 weeks, wherever you are in the world, we're sitting in discomfort. And so it's better to get a strategy around it. We do it so much in yoga and meditation. It's just really all about, can we sit in the discomfort of our feelings and allow them to really pass through us and not hold on to it? So let's come back up, straighten out the right leg and looking under the right shoulder. And so the task is not to push it away or cover over or flush it down with a bottle of wine. The task is to stay open and truthful and awake within the discomfort. So we're moving from heel to heel, picking up the left foot, knee to nose, shoulders over wrist, back up,
knee to nose. Back up, opening up. Offering and opening the hip and breathe. And then take your left knee in between your hand for pigeon. And so in this pigeon again, close your eyes and what really just feel into your body the areas which have a holding pattern. Is that whatever our mind cannot take anymore, and we just can't find a solution, we store it in the body. And so allow your body to breathe and move and allow it to move through you so you can stay open to life as it comes along your way. Tuck the back toes under, lift the left leg up towards the sky again. And slowly send it back down to the ground. Okay, inhale, shoulders over wrist, knees, chest, chin, gliding through. Downward facing dog. And then slowly start to walk forward. Bring your hands around your elbows and just sway from side to side. And then roll up one vertebra at a time until you're all the way up, standing. So we will use this time to just do 5 fast flowing sun salutations to get the body and the all of your system flowing and moving so you really can allow your feelings to pass through you. And I encourage you to breathe the deepest breath that you have ever breathed in your life. And really take an effort on your exhale and really allow it to flow out of you. Okay. Arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, step back right, left. We meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, shoulders over wrist. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale deep, lifting up the right leg. Exhale deep, stepping forward, right, left. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rising up, standing tall. Exhale, downward, all the way downward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, left foot steps, right foot 2, downward facing dog. Inhale, shoulders over wrist. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up high. Left foot steps, right foot 2. Inhale to the long spine. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, straight into the next forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, right foot steps, left foot 2. Downward facing dog. Inhale, shoulders over wrist. Now deepen your breath. And exhale it out through an open mouth. Allow it to roll from your throat to your tongue. Inhale, right up. Right foot steps, left foot 2. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reaching. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, left foot steps, right foot 2, downward facing dog. Inhale, shoulders over wrist. Exhale, your version. You choose what feels good for you this morning. Inhale, left foot rises. Left foot steps, right foot 2. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, last round. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, right foot steps, left foot 2, downward facing dog. Inhale, shoulders over wrist. Knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot rises. Step, step. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, really allow it to flow out of you. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, left foot steps, right foot 2. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Left foot steps, right foot 2. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, take your hands in the mudra of unshakable trust. And then find a moment in your stance. Mudra of unshakable trust. Shoulders away from the ears. Elbows out to the side. And you really start to pull. Test yourself of your own connection. Test yourself of your own connection, as all of the great masters speak about forgiveness as the highest, the ultimate path to freedom. Forgiveness. I have yet to go there, but I'm willing to try. Breathing in, lifting the heart. Breathing out, allowing the shoulders to drop away from the ears. Release the hands, reach up. Exhale, moving down. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, right foot steps, left foot 2, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Right knee to the nose, and really get round like you're showing your turtle back. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, right knee in between your hands, and we go there again. And this time, maybe there is a bit more space in your hips. We just want to wake up for this morning and to really allow things to pass through us. It's not going to be a long flow, so can you deepen and settle and yield into this breathing? And see if you can open up through the left psoas muscle. And really inhaling for the length of your spine. Exhaling to ground. And so let's do something that really helps us to become aware of the holding patterns in our body. So squeeze the knees together as much as you can, like you want to fold up the mat in between you. And you're so strong, right, in that squeezing that you're moving into your hip and your lower abdomen and your pelvic floor muscles. And then slowly you release into this pigeon pose. And once you are there in your pigeon pose, you get 5 breaths in the end version of your pigeon pose this morning. And so you're breathing in, and see if you can expand the ribcage as much as possible to make space. Breathing in, wide, open, deep, in all directions. And then as you exhale, open the throat and allow the breath to roll from your throat, from your tongue out, and really all the way out. And taking, we call it the residual volume that you keep in your lungs when you exhale. There's always still some volume. But can you breathe out so deep that this volume and this residual really gets a turnover? So there's freshness flowing into your system. Breathing in. Breathing out. Once your 5 breaths are done, you will just allow your right sitting bone to come to the ground, and you shift your left knee into the arch of your right foot. And then you sit down. Make sure that your left knee is nicely bent so your left knee is protected. Inhale, bringing up the arms, interlacing your fingers and place your palms up towards the sky, reaching. And then exhale, both sitting bones really want to ground into the earth. I'm going to sit where you can see me better. Wonderful. And then with your next exhale, we will turn over the left hand, left outside of your left hand to the outside of your right knee and your right hand behind you. So the symbolism in yoga of all the twists is that we find a strong center line, right? And that's your sitting bones, both of your sitting bones grounded equally and strong into the ground. And then your vertebrae are stacked nicely on top of each other. So you have this spinal column as your inner plumb line. And around this plumb line, we practice this innate human skill to be benevolent, to look around and see more than just what's in front of us. We're able to soften and look around and soften the shoulders and allow things and situations and people to touch us. Their stories, their lives, their feelings. The skill is called empathy. And within the empathy, we stay connected to our own plumb line, yet we are able to feel with, like not for someone, we're able to feel with, fully, in the full capacity. And we allow it to take us and really get involved on an emotional level. Inhale. Exhale over your right shoulder. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, moving over to the other side. So your right hand reaches for your left knee or shin bone. You're reaching high and your spine is tall. And you look over your left shoulder. And so therefore, as you practice this twist, you actually do get a full 360-degree perspective. So as you sit and you close your eyes and you breathe, can you take the time to get the 360-degree perspective to really allow life to take you off your own vantage point and open up to perspectives of people where you really make an effort to start to understand and feel with. Deep inhale. Deep exhale through an open mouth. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, I'm going to turn again because I turned for you. We collect our feet back and we meet in a downward facing dog. That's where we came from. And then you can bring your right leg up. It's been in this position for quite a while. So you can move through this hip joint up and really play and allow the hip to free itself in your own playful movement. Right leg steps down, left leg steps up. And you really bring it up towards the sky, knee to nose, round in your back. You really feel it. And then left leg up towards the sky. And then you bring your left knee in between your hands for your pigeon pose. And so remember, we have this moment where we really squeeze in. So both knees really squeeze in together. And really getting into the power of our legs, which are really our tools to walk our path in our lives, to really journey through and over and across this earth. So really squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And then exhale, allow to sink a little deeper. And then you can come to your end range, wherever that is. You might have a cushion somewhere, which is totally fine. Right? So you make yourself comfortable as you sit and breathe in your own discomfort of allowing the gripping to release. And so my dear husband always brings up this beautiful finding of research that if a monkey sits quite happy, you give him one apple and he's quite happy. And you give him a second apple and he's quite happy. And if you take away the second apple, he gets really angry. And so I really like to bring this up for me and myself and in my really own experience these days, to this gripping that I feel in my body is holding on to something that has never been mine. Coming back to what Mark Nepo says, this really being an open vessel to allow life to pass through us without clinging on to the accumulations that we have created in our lives and that often take up so much reservoir of ourselves. Allow your hip to sink onto the left side and pull the right knee in. The right knee's bent. Allow the arms to rise up and now interlace them the other way around where it feels weird. And I guess it's going to be with us for quite a while, that things are going to be really weird. Bring the palms up. Allow the sitting bones to really ground into the earth and then really rise up and breathe in. Wonderful. And then with your exhale, your right hand to the outside of your left knee. And then just give yourself that little tilt again. So your spine reaches up tall and you're looking over your left shoulder. Breathing in. As you breathe out, you really allow it to come from your throat and your heart again. Breathing in. Breathing out. Allow it to leave your system. And then allow your chin to drop to your chest and roll through your neck. As we take this 360 degree perspective, can we really be free in the vantage point that we're taking? Inhale, arms up, and exhale, left hand to the right knee, looking over the right shoulder, but soon enough, drop the chin to the chest and roll ear to ear, breathing. And see if you can really also here allow the gripping to leave your body so you can stay open and continue to receive what life has to offer. Slowly coming back. Place the hands, collect your feet. And then take a moment for your last pose. This might be, it might be an inversion. You might want to come to a headstand, shoulder stand, forearm stand, and just really turn it all around. You might also just want to take a restful moment with your hips on a block or a cushion. And breathe and really allow again the residue in your lungs to be shifted and flushed and washed clean. When you come down, we rest in child's pose one more time. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, your hips and your head want to be extra heavy, like you're placing the hand of your mind's eye onto your hips, softening and opening up through the back body. And then with your next inhale, you can roll yourself up or lie down on your mat for a relaxation. And so coming into your position in which you can just ground and sink and breathing in. Breathing out, see if you can fully and completely allow the weight of your body to be held by the earth. So you really allow the weight of your legs and arms, the weight of the back of your head, the weight of your thoughts to sink. And then see if you can take one last deep exhale to really, from the back of the sternum and in between the shoulder blades and from the neck, right, from everywhere, you just allow it to leave your system. And then close your eyes and remember from the Sufi Circles, this practice that we allow to lose orientation in the outer world to find and reconnect with the inner orientation. And I do strongly believe that there's going to be, and there is a strong pull to do exactly that, to find the inner connection. The ultimate value of staying open is that we're scoured clean of all that might burden us. Memories, wounds, assumptions, conclusions, even the debris of unworkable dreams.
And more important than what we reach for or aspire to is a cleansing release of all that takes up residence in the reservoir of our perception and feeling. For unprocessed feelings and unlived dreams that clog our arteries of being, it can be life-threatening. So, like it or not, we're asked to let everything in and through, trusting that the passage of life through us is that which is renewing, not what we accumulate or accomplish along the way. As blood must pass through our organs, as rivers must empty into the sea. Thoughts and feelings must pass through our being if we are to stay fresh and changeable. After all these years, I've come to see that the aim is not to stay full or empty, but an open channel for everything that life has to offer. I bring my hands together as a symbol of connection, as a symbol of gratitude for all the support I received throughout the past weeks. And I wish to offer my service in order to move and help release and help to reconnect back to peace and harmony. And I know that in order to truly come to true peace and true harmony, we have to hear and see what is going on right now in all of the discomfort that has been shaken and brought up. This is an invitation to stand together and end the social distancing. I think it's important to come together again. And if it is important to stay in distance, then I'd like to change the term into distant socializing. Namaste.